City of Stevens Point Board of Park Commissioners meeting, recorded July 7, 2021.
And you've got something to read there, Dan?
You bet. Our intention is to have in-person meetings going forward. For the time being, we will hold the city committee meetings, plan commission, council, and most others at the community room at 933 Michigan Avenue. This in-person location will meet the legal requirements for our open meetings. We will have a virtual option available, but the technology for the hybrid style meeting may not be reliable all of the time.
All right, great. Item number 1, roll call.
Freckman?
Here.
Ledowski is excused. Hall?
Here.
Kirsch is excused. McDonald?
Here.
O'Connor?
Here.
Shabilsky?
Here.
Aldershore?
Here.
Slawinski is excused. Sorensen's excused. And Alder-Zarazua?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, great. Item number 2, approval of June 2nd, 2021 meeting minutes.
I'll move to second.
Nice.
Whatever.
We're out of
High
practice.
tongue here. I'll move.
Okay, a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. Item number 3, approval of Filth Avenue Festival special event request for Piffner Pioneer Park on September 25th from Lee Bartnick. And it is Filth Avenue, not Fifth Avenue. We've clarified that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Want me to lead in with it?
sure.
Sure. So we do have a new special event request, which is why it's on the Park Commission agenda this evening. The request is to use the band shell and the power that comes with the band shell, as well as the lawn in front of it. So there would be a $250 fee that would go with that, which is consistent with what we charge for other events. If for some reason the event organizer would need electric, we've already talked about the pedestals on Crosby, but we do not believe that that's going to be needed right now. This is a very standard setup for what a lot of concert venues that do happen within the city. So city staff has reviewed it. There's nothing additional requested of the city, so we would recommend approval. And Mr. Bartnick is here this evening as well if you do have questions. If you see, as you see in the application, there's a band. The name of the band is also, I think, listed in here, I believe. So if there's any specific questions for me, I can answer them. Otherwise, Mr. Bartnick will be here too.
I have a question. In your note, Director Kramer, it
Yes.
said that they are requesting to have the concert and concessions, but in the application, concessions is checked no.
I think the concessions we had talked about, if they were gonna do it, was gonna be out of the band shell. So rather than say like, Riverfront is set up where they're plugged in the pedestals and we have the things on the side of the street, if they were to do something, it would be out of the side of the band shell, is how it's set up. So is that kinda how we talked about it?
I don't think we're gonna do concessions. If anything, it'll just be like potluck style or something. So yeah, I don't think, we're not gonna be charging, if there's not gonna be anything that's gonna be charged for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right,
So that we
sorry.
can hear you.
Yeah,
Or so they can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I don't,
Excuse me, please. Would you state your name and address also, please, for the record?
yeah, sure. Lee Bartnick, 1233 Fifth Avenue. Yeah, so we're not looking to do anything as far as concessions go. If anything, I have a friend that's gonna be bringing his lemonade truck, but that's just gonna be for donations. So we're not looking to charge for anything or anything like that.
And then there's not beer sales, or there are?
No.
Okay. There's like 2 checks there, but I
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh,
sure.
yeah, no.
So, okay, thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes, yeah, the obvious question, the name. You said you're on Fifth Avenue, but this is Filth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Please
we-
explain.
Yeah, so we were gonna hold it at my house until I decided to rent the band shell, and it's just a fun pun and a cool name for a rock festival, you know? I mean, Filth Ave, it sounds awesome.
Almost good enough to be a trivia team name.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any further questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and to second the Filth Avenue Festival on September 25th at Piffner Park. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? All right, the motion
All
carries.
right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Item number 4, approval of 89Q Sticker Stop Fun and Brat Fry special event request for Mead Park on July 14th and 20th. I thought it was going to be July 14th or 20th,
The reason,
2021. Okay, thank you.
so the reason that the agenda states "and" is because the applicant could not identify for me which date it was going to be specifically due to the close proximity of the meeting. My last understanding is the 20th is what they're targeting, but if you look at the top line of the event application, they put July 14th or 20th. So rather than coming this evening and saying it's going to be one or the other, not being able to tell you which, I wanted to make sure that it was approved for both so that when they finalize the date, not ideal, an applicant should know what day it is, but that's how they presented it with this short window. This event, if you look through it, this is actually an event that I'm told the event applicant has done in the city of Wausau. So they approached my department and asked if they could run it here. They're looking to be around the Cash Playground in Mead Park. So one of the conversations, and you'll notice in the agenda minutes that I mentioned, was that we do have a large attendance at Mead Park for Cash Playground, just for the playground. So we did have a discussion revolving around if the special event was to happen and they were near the entrance, that those that were just going to the park for the park amenity were not to be solicited or asked or say high-pressure sales or anything of that nature to entice them into the special event. Obviously, those coming for the special event are welcome to do that. The applicant is aware of that. We went through that discussion, and the map, if you look at it, shows that they would be on basically both sides of it. So they have a vehicle they're planning to put closer to the roadway, and then a 10-by-10 tent that would be further past the entrance. So they do have a food portion of it that they look to hand out. I think it says that they're going to give out brats for free during that event. So based on what we reviewed, we do not really have a rentable space in Mead Park because the shelter is first come, first serve, and they're not using it. From our review, we would recommend approval with the contingency stating that they aren't to basically approach anyone or solicit to anyone that's not coming as part of their special event. I don't know if the applicant is here. Ryan Baer is the contact person, but I don't see them here or online, I believe.
Okay. Well, thanks for that explanation, Dan. Does anybody have any questions for Dan or anything, questions or concerns they'd like to raise about this event? Okay. Hearing none, do we have a motion regarding this?
Somebody's got to move. I
That's how it usually works, it used to work that way.
I'll say, do we have a second? I'll second, if you need a second.
So we have a motion and a second.
All right. So we have a motion and a second to approve the 89Q Sticker Stop Fun and Brat Fry special event request for Mead Park on our approval is July 14th and the 20th, although we do realize it's going to be one or the other date. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Thank you. Item number 5, Dan, the approval of reallocation of capital funds for Iverson Park restroom replacement.
So item number 5 and number 6 sort of go together, but in order to talk about number 6, it made sense to put number 5 first. So we had $215,000 in the capital budget to replace the restroom down in Iverson. That included demolition, the actual design permitting, and then construction. What we know now is that we did have some additional dollars spent on the permitting and design. In the memo, you'll notice there was an H&H study required because the elevation levels or the flood heights for the Plover River were unknown in that portion of the city. When we went out for bid, you'll see that we actually weren't far off on the number for the actual construction and demo. It came in at $226,000, so we'd been about $11,000 short. But because of that upfront work that we had already spent, we were a little bit further short than that. The good news is, though, our other projects within the Park Rec and Forestry Department that we had borrowed for have come in under budget. So what the request tonight is actually not to go into contingency or to have to borrow additional money. It's to just reallocate or redirect those dollars that were headed for other projects. So the Gerke Tennis Court, which is now done, came in just a little under $40,000 under budget, which is very great. And then we bought a John Deere Gator UTV that also was under budget with the state contract price. So staff recommendation after reviewing and talking with the comptroller treasurer would be to reallocate the $39,835 which would then have the fund balance be enough to consider the next action item that's on the agenda.
Thank you. There was good information in the packet, too, if you had a chance to review that. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the reallocation of capital funds for Iverson Park restroom replacement. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And number 6, approval of award of Iverson Park restroom replacement contract to Eagle Construction Company Incorporated for the amount of $226,000.
So to carry the last item further, we were lucky to get 4 bids, and if you can see, 3 of them were very close, which showed that we did have a competitive bidding process. And after reviewing it, Eagle Construction Company Incorporated out of Wisconsin Rapids, which is a fairly local company that does have a reputation in these type of construction projects, was the low bid at $226,000. This project, if awarded as it goes through the process, or if it's approved tonight and then moves on to finance and council, would actually happen starting in August, and this restroom project would end this fall. So we reviewed it based on their experience, and to be honest with you, this time we were worried we went up for bid because construction materials have been so astronomical. So being this close, we've talked about it, we were able to fund it. You don't know what the market will bring in the future, and with some of these projects, I think when you can fund it, it's definitely the time to do it. So staff, as well as CBS Square, our consultant's recommendation would be to award to Eagle Construction for the $226,000, and then this project would move forward this fall.
McCarron?
Does that amount include the contingency?
The amount does not include a contingency at this point, and that was based on a discussion with the mayor. This would be just to approve the contract as bid.
Okay, and Dan, did you say that it's scheduled to take place this fall?
Yeah, so what if tonight's would be approval, it would go to finance next week, and then if that's approved, it would go to council the week following. So we'd sign contracts the 3rd week of July, and then we would have our pre-construction meeting scheduled for August 2nd. So theoretically, by late September, early October, you'd see this project complete or be very close to complete.
Right.
Okay, I will move approval.
And I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 7, Director's Report.
So we just finished up the Riverfront Rendezvous, which is not arguably, it is the largest undertaking for the department to try to get everything organized. It's also the first year that Tom Schrader, who created the event and has not been here, was not a part of it. So it was a really big process to learn, number one, as well as the staff kind of taking on additional responsibility. So we were fortunate, we hit 3 beautiful days of weather, even though it was a little warm. It wasn't, astronomically hot. We had a nice breeze, and we had some really nice bands that we turned out, and the crowd sizes were much larger than we even anticipated. So we're still preliminary on the financials, but it looks like we might have had a record year for sales. Our food vendors were very happy with the attendance. We partnered with the fire department to do a kids' safety day, which drew more families than we've ever drawn. So that was all really, really well done, and I can't say thank you to our staff enough. From everyone in the department plays a role. So our maintenance staff sets up for a week. Then all of our seasonals work it. Every one of them is there down for the weekend, as well as all of our administrative staff kind of being there. I can't even tell you how many hours we had between Friday and Monday. So we're happy that it's done. When we get to this point, it's always nice to kind of take a breath and say, hey, we were able to do it. But our fireworks show was new on the water. We've received a lot of positive comments on that. I think it was an up-close and personal show, so people seem to really like that change. We've got, obviously, a list of things we could try to do next year, which we'll continue to try and improve it. But overall, it was a really successful weekend. So hopefully a few of you were able to get down there. And if you haven't seen it, there will be a video of the fireworks online. So you can definitely check it out if you didn't get to see them. So again, kudos to the staff. And multiple departments are involved with Riverfront Rendezvous. Even the streets department did some extra work to get intersections opened up in the construction zone. We're able to work with the water department for some of the water we need with hydrants. And the list goes on. Police and fire are down there helping keep the event safe. Our clerk's office is involved with the alcohol sales. I mean, it almost touches every department. It really is a community, citywide effort. So great job this year by the staff.
Was there any big problems this year?
No, to my understanding, I haven't gotten the full report, but we had one small altercation, a verbal altercation that was split up, and we had one person that fell by the riverside into the water, but they were fine, didn't hurt themselves. They just had to dry off and change clothes. So that was the most of what we had, so.
Actually, I'd just like to say thank you and congratulations to you and your staff, probably on behalf of the board here. It was really just a wonderful event for so many people. It was incredible, the turnout. And actually, people really raved about the fireworks. And if people hear this and like the fireworks this year, you can send a check to our city treasurer to make a contribution for next year's fireworks show. So please consider doing that if you enjoyed the fireworks.
Great. The only other two things I was going to mention is the Bucco Park playground is done, other than we are back ordered on the benches and bike racks that will be put on the entrance. So if you look, there's a couple concrete slabs around the concrete, and that'll have benches and bike racks. So those will go in, we believe, early August. They're due to come in, but the supply chain's been really affected for that too. But it does look really nice. The old playground will be coming down between now and August is the goal. So we're working through that. And then lastly, the Gerke Park tennis courts are now open. So if you get a chance, they look a lot like Wimbledon. They're blue and they've got the green around them. So they've got white lines, and then you'll also see the blended pickleball on the 3 eastern courts, and the 3 western courts have youth tennis. So they really, when you change from the color we did to the color we're at now, they really look nice. So
They do.
yeah, if you get a chance, we took some photos from the slide tower from the pool, looking down at it, and John Quirk actually plans to do some drone photos so you can get above look. So we'll be publishing some photos that look really nice of that. And that court, they did the crack filling with the armor product. We believe that court's going to last a nice long time, and we should have some really happy tennis players as well as pickleball players and youth tennis players here in the community. So nice project. We were able to bring it in under budget, and so now we're just left with 2 more. We've got the one we just awarded tonight and a roof project for the Willett. So
David?
Thank you, Chair. At the risk of being a little personal, I was cleared by my surgeon today to play tennis, so I look forward to getting out there.
Great. That's great.
And that's all I have for the director.
Great. Anybody have any questions for the director? Any questions or comments? If you haven't seen the new playground equipment down at Bucco Park, it's really, really nice.
Really nice, yeah.
For the limited amount of space that we have down there, it's going to be very popular once people figure it out. So.
And the bathroom area in Bucco, we go to Iverson a lot, and, you know, it's going to be very nice too, because it's been there a long time.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. Just one other comment, kind of as a follow-up. I noticed that the organization that was trying to get pickleball courts put in one of our parks is working with Plover down near Lake Packowa, so that's great that there's going to be a place for tournaments for pickleball, and it didn't have to eat up any of our parkland, so that's good news for us too, I think.
definitely.
Okay. Anything else? Wonderful. Item number 8, adjournment. Have a move to, John move.
I second.
All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, great. Thank you. Well, this was record time for our new event here.
A good start.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.